not by us, so they can be used by Him. And so we have to really get out of that mindset that can't nobody tell your child nothing. I have to really, when people are, people talk to my children, I have to, because my children, those who know me, my children are I don't know how to say it, but I truly love my children. I love them dearly, dearly, to the point where I love them, because when you grow up and you don't have that same type of love, or, the same kind of relationship. I ain't gonna say love. This same kind of relationship with your parents, or you just try to be better. You just try to have open door relationship with your kids, to the point where they can come and talk to you about anything, or they feel like that you got them. They're gonna be safe and stuff like that. And so we have to really be mindful of just, sometimes when people talking to my children, I just listen. If something is said out of the way, or I feel like I don't agree with it, then I have to clear it up. Because we have to be mindful who speak into our children's life, even at school. We have to make sure what they're being taught, or what the teacher is saying to them, because teachers have, we have to be mindful. That's why we have to make sure that we keep our children covered in prayer when they're not in our sight, because we don't know all the time what they're listening to, or people that hang around in school, or it's just so much our children have to deal with nowadays. And we have to be mindful of that too, because it is a lot of stuff they are being exposed to so quick. When we were growing up, we didn't have all this, quick stuff. Get it so instant. Everything was not instant like it is now. And that can be a good thing, and that can be a bad thing. It depends on how our children use it for their benefits. Because children use these, phones and stuff sometimes from a point that it's not good. Videotaping fighting, and because it's just fighting, videotaping, just so much stuff that you're seeing on. Like I said, our kids are being exposed to so much stuff, and it's these challenges. Kids are doing these challenges these days, and got the kids, they taking millions of pictures, and but we have to just teach them. Like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Like, the people that you talk with on social media, you make sure that it's somebody not somebody that you don't know, because we do have sex predators, and we have perverts that are on these social media sites that are reeling these children in, and then they get these children, the girls, to meet them, and you know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of what our children are into, and that's where God come in at. God convict them. Like, my kids know, like, you do something, you gonna get caught. You do something that I don't know about it, I'm gonna find out. Because that's how me and God is. We got that relationship. My kids doing something that they ain't got no business doing. I might not find out at first, but I'm gonna find out, because me and God got that connection. God knows. I'm always praying for my children. I always make sure, they're covered. And if it's something they're not doing, then I want to know about it. I want to know about it. I want to know about it. Because like I said, our kids are, let's see, how can I put this? It's like we got to open our eyes even when it's like we be so into our own life sometimes. Or so into in ourselves or whatever. I don't know. Cause I understand that. Cause my son asked me, what did he ask me today? He asked me something today. I'm sorry, y'all. Again, about that time. It's 9:35. My bedtime. Getting kind of sleepy, but I shall move on. I'm gonna fight through this. But we just have to be pretty. I don't know how to say it because I have kids myself, and I try to give them their little freedom to make sure, the freedom to make mistakes, the freedom to be corrected, the freedom to be themselves, the freedom to express themselves, the freedom to, but my biggest challenge is, this is me, my biggest challenge is helping them to know that God is real. My biggest challenge is make sure they pray. They say their prayers every night, or letting them know that if you're going through something at school, call on God. Call on Him. So that's what my challenge is just really helping them to believe who God is. But then I have to sometimes sit back and be like, I can't force it on them. I don't want to force God on them. I want it to be natural for them. I want it to be natural for them. I want them to fall on them to the point where they be like, yeah, they be on fire for God. But I can't even sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes, I feel like they don't know how to. Because they don't see it as often. I can be in my house and have my worship music on and praying to God, or sitting here reading my Bible. Excuse me, y'all. But they go to school and they caught up with social media and caught up with the fashion and caught up with, just the worldly things that sometimes I feel like, okay, God, sometimes I be like, man, I'm just going to take away everything. Take away everything. But then I was like, okay, try to give them that freedom where, my son got games and my daughter, they be on their phone and music and stuff like that. And so I have to just trust God. And that's pretty much what we have to do as parents, is, especially as parents that truly love God, truly believe who God is, truly just, got the Holy Spirit filled up and everything, speaking the tongue and all that. We have to just trust that God is going to, as we train up our children and as they get older and stuff like that, they will not depart. They will remember who God is. They will come back to who God is. And that's where I'm at right now, is trusting God. Because I asked my son tonight, I said, how did you enjoy it? Because my son was just sitting there looking, talking about he hungry or whatever it was. And I asked him, like, okay, how did you enjoy it tonight? And he was like, it was crazy. And when I was probably that young, I probably would have said the same thing. No lie, I probably would have said the same thing. I was like, oh, them folks around there crazy. They around jumping and he don't take all that. And so I understood his question, and I was like, that's what they all say. They all say that we are crazy. We the one crazy, the way that we praise God, the way that we worship God with unapologetically praising God to the point where he is real. We know that he's real. And so we have no problem of praising his name. We believe in his word. And that's what people they call us crazy. And that's why I told my son, I was like, yeah, that's what they all say. They say we crazy, but you got the folks in the world they look like little zombies. You got youth just fighting and carrying on and stuff like that. And when I see all that stuff, it just brings me back when I was growing up. That's why I don't judge our youth where they at today. I don't judge where they're at because they did it when I was growing up, fighting and all kinds of stuff, drugs and stuff. To me, it's just 10 times worse. It's just now it got it to the point where ain't nothing new up under the sun, like they say. Ain't nothing new up on the sun. It's just worse. It's just worse. They still fighting. You know what I'm saying? They still stealing, robbing. All that stuff is still going on. It just now it have went to another level. Now you got kids coming to the school, shooting up schools. Went to another level. It have got 10 times worse. Where now they're going into the schools. And I don't know when this started, where they started going into schools, shooting up schools. But I'm trying to see. I'm going to have to go back and look at when was Columbine. I'm like how old I was when the Columbine shooting went down. What year that was. I'm going to look that up because... And that means that we have to, as a body of Christ, we have to really, really stop playing, man. Stop playing because our youth is getting sucked in more and more into the world. More and more to the point where farther away from God. Farther away from God. Not understanding all these things that's going on. Not understand that we are fighting, really, really, really fighting demons and evil spirits and witches and witchcraft and all this stuff is going on. And some of this stuff is in the school. I mean, we have to really open up our minds to the point where we're not so naive. To the point where we don't think demons are in the schools. Witches are in the schools. Evil spirits are not in the school system. Not in the school building where the children are. So you've got some children are evil. They are being used by evil spirits. And we got to stop being so naive. We got to be. We have to come down from that high horse that we are on and really pay attention to our youth. Really stop saying that, they took God out of the church. Yeah, whatever. What they do, tuck down a cross or something? They can't pray in public. That's what it was. I think they was praying in public and I think a parent or a child or something went back and they took prayer out of class. But they can pray prayer out of class, but they can't pray prayer out of your heart. They can't take it out of your heart. They can't take it to the point where you can pray before you even get to the school. Before you even get to the daycares. While you are in your it's like we are putting God in a little genie, in a bottle, like a little genie bottle, and rubbing on the genie and thinking, just go rub it when you want to, and thinking it, we got to do this thing consistently. If you want to really see the power of God happen in our children's life, in our family life, in the school, and everywhere around this country, we got to